right, everybody. I think we are live on both YouTube and Instagram. I think we're going to pull it off this week. Let's see how it goes. So, welcome to Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon live cast. And today we're going to draw Battle Beast as a Battle Beast. So, Battle Beast from, I believe, the Invincible universe. But we're going to draw him as a classic Battle Beast character from back in the day. Where's one of my favorites? I had my kangaroo Battle Beast here a second ago, but let's give this a shot. I'm simul streaming on YouTube and Instagram, and let's render and draw this guy up. A little housekeeping: I do have a couple of classes on Proco, link in bio, and I have a line weight drawing class and a robots and mecha class. Both have gotten really good reviews and really good results from my students. So I highly recommend everyone check it out. Otherwise, let's get drawing. Rory Simpson person says, any tips to get better? Well, to get better at what? I'm assuming drawing, but what do you have thoughts on in terms of getting better? And maybe a little bit more specific. The more specific the question in terms of improvement, the better the feedback I can give you. So this guy's based on the Lion Battle Beast from 1980s toy line Battle Beast, but I put the head of the Battle Beast from the Invincible universe on there. So he's quite popular and has actually driven up the price of the Battle Beast action figure that looks like him, which is kind of neat. So let's see. Rory says, better at drawing and like colors. Well, we're getting a little bit more specific. What about colors bugging you and you're struggling with? And what about colors are you struggling with? And hopefully some of my Proco students are here. But we'll see how it goes. So we're going to draw Battle Beast. Does anyone read the Battle Beast books? He's quite popular in the old manga art world. Oh, Inky Pen Jessa is in my YouTube. I think you're one of my few YouTube followers or people who have taken an interest in my YouTube channel. It is, admittedly, quite crappy at the moment. Still working out the bugs, still figuring it out. But I'm very excited that I was able to actually get on it. So Rory Simpson says, in terms of how to get better at drawing, like how to use them, i.e. when and how to use them. Well, I would recommend for color, there's a couple of great tools. I recommend Nathan Fowkes' books on color. He has one on plein air painting and a couple on color. But also understanding color theory and the color wheel. Complementary colors, tertiary colors, cross complements, that sort of stuff. Saturation, hue, chroma, all that stuff. Understanding those fundamentals is very useful. Knowing when to use the power of gray and what the temperature means in your colors. So I would look at all those things in terms of drawing. Well, there's a lot to know there, and a lot to know with color as well. Also, my buddy Zach is actually an Academy Award-winning color artist in Hollywood, and he does do classes. So I'd recommend taking some of his. Oh my gosh, we got YouTube people. Inky Pen just says, my brother does. Oh, your brother follows you? Fantastic. Well, thank him for me. But his brother says, hello from Germany. I got back into drawing in my sketchbook because of you. Thank you, man. Right on. I'm going to be doing a sketchbook class soon. Something I want to do, just to get, you can cover a lot in a sketchbook class. A lot of fundamentals, a lot of good stuff. So I'm going to do one of those soon, so look for that on Proco. And I take it you took one of my classes either on Proco or something else. CJW says, go Gadget Color. Yeah, wish it was that easy. Be like Inspector Gadget. Oh man, that was such a great show. I've been super nostalgic lately, like crazy nostalgic. And I've been thinking about all those shows. Me and my daughter, we were up at our cottage this weekend, and we have, DVDs. And we were watching MASH, and I'm like, I want to get like all the old Saturday morning cartoons I used to watch up there. and just, I don't know, get retro, man. CJ Wine says, this is a class? I didn't study. Don't worry about it. No, this live stream's actually, it's kind of goofy. It's sort of like a hybrid between, if you want to ask art questions, that's awesome. If you want to say stupid crap, even better. Oh, CJ Wine says, nostalgia hits with Captain Planet. Yeah, Captain Planet was pretty cool back in the day. But I was my favorites were, of course, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Gummy Bears I loved. I like the old school Looney Tunes, back before the parental activists kind of got a hold of kids' content. And yeah, parental activists killed G.I. Joe. It was bad. Inky Jessica says, you can call me Inky, it's probably easier. Well, I appreciate that, Inky. So let's do it. So I think we're about ready to color in Battle Beast. I just want to get some color reference here. I was actually up in my attic. I could have sworn I had the Lion Battle Beast, but apparently I do not. So the result of my silliness is, gonna have to use a digital reference. And we're actually gonna play up Battle Beast's whiteness, and we're gonna throw in some gouache. CJ Wine says, Hail Hitler, Daffy Duck was on a different level. I don't remember that, but did he? Was there like a Hitler Daffy Duck? Oh my God. That sounds horrible. So I don't know. But let's get Battle Beast, his white areas, colored in. And the beauty of gouache in a sketchbook, and is you can actually paint in with gouache. Normally I use a flathead brush, but I couldn't find it. I was away this weekend and my drawing stuff is missing. But the beauty of gouache is once this dries, you can actually ink over it. Now it has a different feel than the paper, but it is inkable. So just bear that in mind when you're playing around in your sketchbooks. Rob says Optimus Beast, right on. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Battle Beast character, but let's check him out. Let's see, there's his hands white. Yes, they are. So I'm a child of the 80s, and I don't apologize for that, because I think it was the best decade to be a child, I think, was in the 80s. We started getting video games, but they weren't overwhelming. We had tons of toys. Like, the whole toy boom happened in the 80s, and it was amazing. CJ says, any bleed through on this paper? Not really. When I ink, when I throw down some marker, I am going to get some bleed through. Like, here's another sketch I did of this this chocobo, and that does bleed through when I do marker, but the gouache doesn't. But it does warp the hell out of your paper, so you're going to have to deal with some beat up paper. But that's how it goes. I got to start researching other sketchbooks for my sketchbook class for Proco. I'll start making that hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But the beauty of a sketchbook class is I can introduce a lot of artistic basics that I think are neglected. Like all my classes are pretty much, I think this has been neglected, let's teach it. That's why I did a class online way, because there really isn't a lot online way, and it's such an important subject. But it's not covered. Not too often, and not in the thoroughness I think everyone deserves. So I made my own, and it's actually selling quite well and doing quite well. So I'm very pleased by it. I'm glad I'm selling a course that I believe in and I'm really passionate about, and it's helping a lot of people. So hopefully I meet a bunch of my students at Lightbox this year. I'm really hoping. I will be at Lightbox. I'm going to pick up my ticket soon and book a flight. So, someone's requesting to be in the video on Instagram. I don't know. I don't think I have the balls to let a stranger on my video. I did have my friend Jared, who does the Steely Pop Expo, coming up next week, and I will be there selling prints in wonderful Elmira, New York. I really enjoy Elmira, and I really enjoy the people in Elmira and how passionate they are about comics and pop culture and stuff like that, and art in general. Particularly the art that I do. Silly art. Now hopefully these inks shine through here. How you doing back there, Rye?
Good.
My daughter's cranking out some concepts. And if we get Battle Beast done in time, we'll work a little bit on my manga I'm working on as well. Talk a little bit about that. So yeah, I came out. I don't know if you guys saw me on Proco TV last week, but I came out as a manga creator. People have been suspected it for a while, and I came out of the closet. They're on Proco TV. Like, yes, I am working on a manga because it's fun. I get up every morning and crank away at it. Let's see. Cancel. Josh Bink says, "What are your thoughts on AI art?" I am the way it is now. I'm very much against it. You know, with AI. God, I can go on and on about how I feel about AI art, and I made some cartoons to that effect as well. I might re-release one this week, but I think the way AI is being rolled out and the way it's being presented is terrifying and really horrible. And I think the way AI image generation was done and the way it's being presented is horrible. And I will make a video about what I think about that, because it really is an assault on the social contract. So for those of you who don't know, AI art is AI art, was based on and trained on all of our artwork that that it could absorb. And, we did not give permission for that artwork to be used. And so not only did we not give permission for our artwork to be used, that very same artwork is being used to replace, the entire culture of art, human artists. And it could potentially take all of us. And that's a very dangerous precedent to set. Because, at current, or at least 5 years ago, our economy is based on consensual exchange and a free market and property rights and intellectual property rights. And what these AI bros did is they got around that and they stole it. And I think they're reverting us back to an economy that's more based on, conquest and just going up to somebody and taking stuff. And that's very dangerous because they're using computers to take stuff. They're using, complexity and the internet and stuff like that to take things. And that's one means to take things. But the other means to take things, and the more traditional means to take things, is by force. And, the reason why we have a social contract is so we have alternatives to taking things by force. And instead of taking things by force, we exchange money. We, lobby for consent for the things that we want. And these guys have gotten around it, and it really shatters the social contract. So, if you can just go and take everyone's artwork, just steal everyone's artwork, and people are going to go, well, I guess stealing's okay. I guess taking things by force is okay. Now, Silicon Valley used technology and intellectual complexity to take stuff, which is a form of force. But there's a more traditional form of force, which, if normalized and they're on the road to doing that, is very terrifying. So, I really have a big problem with AI art on many, many different levels. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Inky says, I wasn't alive for any of those references. Laugh out loud. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I wish you guys could have all grown up in the 80s. It was wonderful. Actually, I had a horrible home life, but the decade was amazing. It was just fun, man. It was very cozy. Very kid-centered. It's funny. I go drive by McDonald's now, and they're just so not kid-friendly anymore. They're just like these sanitized, weird things now. Solid PDF says, hello. Well, hello back. Oh, Artie Pie's here. He says, hey, man. Well, hello back and welcome, my friend. I haven't seen you in a while. PDF says, is the white paint gouache? It is. And we're actually going to wait for it to dry, and we're going to go back over it with more ink. So kind of a fun technique. Maybe we'll even add some value to Battle Beast here. Yeah, there's a lot of options for approaches to this stuff. But yeah, this is the mighty Battle Beast. But yeah, I can keep going on and on about AI art. I think that there's a serious problem. I think there might be uses for AI in art, but I think AI needs to be ethical and adherence to laws and property rights and intellectual property rights, and also human forward, where instead of it being designed to replace us, which is what they're really kind of pushing that in a very terrifying and very bad PR way. I think it's a horrible thing to do. They don't really have a plan for society post work and post purpose. So, not great. Not great. I think these guys are clowns. They're almost supervillains at this point. Hunter Flute says, again, bro? Oh, on the. Great, bro. Right on. Again, on the AI. Hey, somebody asked me. It's the forefront question of these days, man. These are cool. These are wild times to be an artist. Oh, did anyone see me on Proco? Anyone go to Proco and see my video up there? I had a lot of fun. Me and Charlie did a stream talking about my line weight class and a few other things. Got very silly very quickly, as it does when me and Charlie get together. Flute says, agree with the AI stuff, yeah. Hunter Flute says, no, sorry again was a typo. Dude, I gotta tell you, I am starting to get suspect of typos right now, guys. I'm like getting very, very conspiratorial when it comes to when it comes to all these typos I'm getting. They just make me look insane. Like I don't know if maybe I'm just going insane and I don't realize it, but I really feel like I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I type something and then I read back and I'm like, that is not what I typed. Like that is, I look like a crazy person. So I don't know. But yeah, I get the typo, dude. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it, dog. See, I'm a middle-aged man trying to sound hip. Going for the cringe, baby. Oh, Hunter Flute says, I'm convinced autocorrect is sabotaging my relationships. Yeah. Eddie says, that looks like Battle Beast. Yes, it's Battle Beast as a Battle Beast from the 80s toy line. So we're kind of going hard today, guys. Going hard. Going hard in the paint. Inky says, I did. Oh no, I forgot the context of what you're saying. I'm lost. Inky Pen, no. I don't know what you're talking about anymore because I get confused. Yeah, now I'm doing I'm drawing, reading comments, commenting on a live stream now on 2 different platforms. I think I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, guys. I'm going to give myself an A for effort here. Maybe an E for execution. What do you say? Okay, let's see. Hunter Flute says, how long have you been drawing? Probably as soon as I could pick up a pen. So I'm almost probably since I was 2, so probably 47 years. I am getting a little long in the tooth, friends. A little long in the tooth. I don't know what to do about that. Getting old is, it's an unpleasant situation, guys. I would not recommend it. If you can avoid it, if you somehow continue along the linear progression of time but not get old, I highly recommend that option. Also, if you figure out how to do that, I think you can make a lot of money. I think you could actually make the money. Let's see. Artie Pie says, would you rather ink someone else's pencils or someone ink your pencils? I don't want either to happen. I'm at a place where when I make comics, I like doing it all. It's one area where, I can completely own it. I do enjoy working with my clients. I do enjoy working with other people, but it is nice to have something of your own, that you can just kind of ride or die on. And, my little drawings are something that I do, but that's an excellent question. I never really thought about it. I guess I'm just quite closed off from the idea of collaborating in that way. I mean, depending on how fortune treats me, I may end up doing that. But right now, I like holding my own ship. Inky says, "Oh, you did see me on Proco, right on." Yeah, it was fun. They're just a great group of people. Really great group to work with. I've worked with a lot of people. I've had issues with other educational platforms, and I can tell you, Proco is very very friendly to artists, very respectful, very supportive. Just an amazing team. Hunter Flute says, "Do you animate?" I do not animate, but I do work on animations. I've worked on the Paw Patrol movies, Paw Patrol show, a couple of animations. I'm not sure if ever got made. And yeah, I'm currently working with one of the lead animators from the second Spider-Verse movie on a project right now, which is very interesting. So, I am animator adjacent, but yeah, no, myself, I do not animate. Eddie says, "Are you a fan of Invincible?" I am. I have the first two omnibuses of it, and have enjoyed it quite a bit. It's very cleverly written, beautifully drawn, just generally a great book. You know, it's a great option in the genre of deconstructing the superhero genre, which I think is overdue. Who was the first to deconstruct the superhero genre? Was it Mark Miller? Was it someone before him? Maybe it was the guy who did Watchmen, Alan Moore. Yeah, there's some guys you don't want to get their name wrong, and Alan Moore is one of them. I had a little panic attack when I'm like, oh, the guy who did Watchmen. I'm like, oh, that ain't going to fly. Ryan Oatley is very talented, says Eddie. Yeah, I agree. Amazing. Hunter Flute says, will you publish these drawings in a book or a website? I will. I would like to. Probably can't publish the, anything licensed. So I probably can't publish this Battle Beast unless I get Image Comics and Hasbro coming after me, which is unpleasant. Actually, no one used to work with Hasbro. Hasbro doesn't use freelancers much anymore, unfortunately. Just limited my... hopefully that will change in the future. But sadly, Hasbro's taking a very different direction, artistically. So... but yeah, I've done work for Hasbro and a great group of guys, but yeah, I definitely don't want to piss them off. So I probably can't publish this, but that's how it is. RD Pie says, Mark, we can finally be BBs. I don't know what that means. Yeah, right on. Let's see. Inky says, have you ever read the Battle Bugs books? I have not. I have not read the Battle Bugs books. Are they worth it? Do tell. Hunter Flute says, best advice for artists. Establish a regular and consistent work/practice routine. That is my advice for you, my friend. Consistency is really key in this business. Whether you're, whether you're excited to work or not, whether you're motivated or not, establish a consistent art routine and stick to it. Oh, Alex says, oh, bro, this is cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm debating on whether I should put some value in his face. Ooh, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to rely on inking just for the nature of the complexity of the fact that I'm hyper multitasking right now. We are just going to keep it simple. Going to scale our efforts to what we're doing. Let's see. My brother likes them in regards to Battle Bugs books. My brother likes them. It's more kiddo learning, but from what he says, they are entertaining. I think my kids would like the Battle Bugs books, honestly. It's we do like the bugs. Solid PDF says, regularity and consistency is super hard with small kids. I agree. The trick with regularity and consistency is to, if you have small kids, and I've been there, and still have my kiddos are still fairly demanding, but the trick is you want to find out what you can do minimally in terms of artwork every day. So it might be an hour, it might be 5 to 10 minutes, but find out what you can do every day and do it. If it's 5 minutes, do 5 minutes. If it's an hour, do an hour. But find what you can sustain and commit to that. You're just looking for a consistent practice, and you're just going to find what that is for you. Alex says, this low-key looks like Battle Beast. It is Battle Beast, the character Battle Beast, but I'm drawing him in the style of a 1980s Battle Beast. Let me show you. Okay, I'm turning around and grunting because that's what I do now. I turn and I grunt. Okay, so it's this Battle Beast right here. You know these guys? Actually, there's a bunch of them. I'll show you my collection, guys. Let's do. This is like back in the 80s when we used to bring our toys to the lunchroom. But yeah, these were Battle Beasts, and they're very cool. These are, holy heck, they're old. I don't know what year they came out. I think 84, maybe? 83, 84. I'm looking for a date on them. Oh, there's one. Except I can't read it with my freaking ancient eyes. So, but yeah, they came out way back in the day. And we'll leave them right here for the YouTube audience to see my toy collection. And we'll continue as I kick these around. Solid PDF says, thanks. Yeah, just try and find a consistent, something that you can sustain. Because I think a lot of artists are like, well, if I'm not doing 8 hours a day, it's not really worth it. Well, anything is worth it. Also, I highly recommend carrying around a sketchbook. So when you have one of those boring moments, instead of hopping on your phone, you go into your sketchbook and get some progress, get some mileage. So try that out. And yeah. Trevor Cameron says, hey, I remember those guys. I had a few dozen back in the day. Yeah, they're worth a few bucks right now, especially the lion one. It's worth a couple of bucks now because he looks like the Battle Beast from the comic, I think. That is my theory. Because I looked up Battle Beasts a little while ago, and they've gone up significantly in price. Because I think, I am theorizing that it's because of the Ryan Oatley comic book Battle Beast. I believe it's Ryan Oatley does it. But, yeah. But good stuff. Good old Battle Beast is a Battle Beast. Yeah, an interesting character. Interesting universe. Let's see. Inky says, I bring my sketchbook everywhere. My mom actually gets annoyed with me. Well, I'll tell you, I'm a parent that, I don't, I'm not draconian about this, but I do encourage my kids to have limited screen time. And, I think it's healthier for you to carry around a sketchbook as opposed to an iPad or a screen all the time. I don't know how old you are. You seem rather young. But I really do think the amount of screen time that you're getting is not great. Who is your favorite Invincible character, says Eddie. Let's see. My favorite Invincible character. I don't know. I haven't read it in forever. Who's like the guy that's a twin? I kind of like him. He's a criminal. I find him kind of intriguing. He's just kind of, I'm a criminal and I keep getting my butt kicked. And of course, Invincible's very interesting. His father's very interesting as well. What are they? Volrumites? Yeah, I find them very intriguing. It's a lot of rich characters in there. Is it Adam Eve, the girlfriend? It's been a while. Go now. There's sort of an anxiety I have about mislabeling nerd stuff on a live stream. I'm like, oh crap, I'm in for it now. The twin guy, it's blah blah blah. Don't you know that? Oh well. What are you gonna do? Ain't no spring chicken. I'm gonna give this guy parting lines in here just to kind of play up the tech element in here. Let's see. There we go. Eddie says, Mooley Paul. Are those the twin guys? Right on. Thank you for the help, because I'm going to get killed out there. There's no understanding. Tons of information, but no understanding and compassion on the internet. Who would have thought the internet would be like, have such... I don't know if we're getting more ignorant. We're getting more ignorant than we were before and less empathetic than before, despite, having the opportunity to be good on both. Oh, Eddie says, or Mahler twins. Right. Yes. Oh, let's see. Inky Pen says it's really not that great, but I do stop to read, journal, and draw. I'm only an '05 baby. Okay, so you're about what, 21? Yeah, I get it. No, it's carry that sketchbook. It's better than screen time. Artie Pie says, fun fact: Beryllium is named after the philtrum, which is where the mustache grows. I don't know what that is. Solid PDF says, I used to carry a sketchbook all the time when I commuted with backpack. Nowadays, I have a small A6 or even smaller that I can fit in my pocket and a pen. A bit messy, but it works. Yeah, whatever you can do. It's really about getting that mileage in to train your hand. That's something I'm running into with my students is I do mention hand training, which is basically training your hand to draw just crisper, better lines. There is an actual like formal practice you can do. I call it the ream of paper exercise. It's in my line weight class. It's a lesson actually I want to get up for free. And I have posted it on my Instagram, but I do want to get it up for free on their interwebs. But it's basically just drawing straight lines and cubes and stuff like that. And what you're doing is you're just making your lines look better. You're just line quality is just better, just due to the fact that you just practice the same lines over and over again. Because I do see a lot of scratchy, kind of sloppy lines from my students, and it's just a virtue of the fact that they're young mostly, and they just need to grow. But the reason why people take my classes is so they can grow faster. It's you could probably take my class. I actually mentioned this on Proco. You can take my class, but it took me decades to figure out what's in the class. And I was like, I can teach it in a couple hours. I was like, dude, spend the few bucks and save yourself decades of time. And that's really the point of classes, is really to speed up your development and eliminate bad habits. So, I try to be very cognizant of that. Trevor Cameron says, it's too easy for people to find their own echo chambers, be it political or cultural. I remember as a kid, you had to find things in common with your classmates and neighbors because that's all you had. Yeah, and I see it with myself. I'm much more cognizant of the algorithmic bubble I'm in. And yeah, it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. I mean, the division that we have is really absurd. And unfortunately, of course you guys know this, but it really does encourage fear and anger. I mean, those are two things that the algorithm really feeds on. It's almost demonic in a way. So it's really odd. It's like we have this monster that just makes us angry and negative and hateful. Yeah, I don't know. Makes me suspicious. Suspicious of what's going on. PDF says, that's why I didn't 88 add friend before the internet. That's why I didn't add friends before the internet. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy out there. Zach Matheson says, Toyo Gogo, can you pretend to step on me and call me names as a joke? Ha ha ha. Zach, can you pretend to step on me? I don't know how to do that on a live stream. I don't know. Where's this going, pal? All right. Inky Pen says, I actually prefer to go with pen, fountain gel, or ballpoint with a pencil sketch. I find it's more human and imperfect. Yeah. And if I make mistakes, I live with it and continue. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Zachary says, Toya Gogo, are you there? I most certainly am. Yes, I'm trying to get to everybody. Like, I got 2 streams going on simultaneously, so I actually am keeping up with most stuff. But it's a challenge. It's a bit of a challenge, but I like answering everyone's questions. Because, gosh, I got to tell you guys, nobody likes dead air. Look, I got a on-air sign back there. I got to find a place to put it where it actually shows up. I want to get kind of an AM radio vibe to some of my posts where I just talk and have like a call-in show or something. Where it's just, or like a type-in show and then answer questions, but I have a very AM voice. It's like, I'm Len Nicholas, KBBR Radio. It's 6 minutes past the hour. That sort of vibe. I love that sort of AM radio aesthetic. And it's sort of weird because it's an audio aesthetic, but I like it. I mean, I'm wondering if I can do it as a visual aesthetic as well. So it's something it's something I want to try out and just have topics we can talk about, and mostly ludicrous and kind of half baked in terms of their thinking. But go out there, talk, throw out some ideas, and if I get something wrong, I can count on the internet to be very understanding of me. So that's sarcasm. Yeah, the internet doesn't do that. All right, let's mess around with this a little bit more. What are we gonna do? Let's get some shadow here. Do we want number 4 down here? It is the mighty battle beast. There we go. But yeah, I kind of like that. There's a couple of topics I'd really like to talk about. I am very interested in AI in terms of how it affects art and society in general. It's something I'd like to explore a bit more.
Enough about the AI.
I know, right? Never enough. Let's see. Zachary says, Twig, will you be doing ASMR anytime soon? I don't know what ASMR is. Hopefully nothing suggestive ASMR. I don't know what that is. He goes, you know what I mean? I don't know what you mean. It's probably there's like a danger when you do a live cast that someone's going to bring out a term or a word that you don't know, and it's just either degenerate or hell or just openly racist. I remember when I first started doing this live cast on Instagram and now YouTube, there would be people on there that would try and trick you into saying something racist. It's like gold. It's like classic internet tomfoolery. And I will always see the internet as an engine of tomfoolery. It's just more absurd the better. I love absurdity. I just got to make sure I don't say anything inappropriate that's going to get me canceled. You never know. You never ever know. So let's see. Let's give old Battle Beast here a couple of highlights. Zoink. Let's see. More. Wow. Instagram's really slow today, but we are getting people on YouTube, which I'm very encouraged by. I had some hiccups and bugs with YouTube. And as my setup gets more technical, I need to get more knowledgeable. And I must say, I think my knowledge is quite limited. YouTube's quite easy. You just kind of click a button and hook up your phone, and there you go. Hopewell says, love your drawings, man. Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, check out my classes if you want. Get a look under the hood of my approach. I always like to share. I am turning into the old guy, so I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm in between creating new stuff and passing the torch. So it was sort of funny. I was actually talking to somebody in Cape Vincent today, of all places, and they have a ferry. And the town really depends on this ferry, but the guy who ran it died and left no successor. And he had this very weird, I find this, is this like a boomer thing? I find this with a lot of boomers. They would rather see things burn, a lot of the boomers that I know, than actually pass the torch of what they're doing. And he was just one of those guys. I like the guy, but there's no one to run the ferry now. And he did have a successor, but he kind of screwed them over. So I don't know, it was really weird. So if anyone's in the Cape Vincent, Kingston area, you know what I mean. I love the background you had was enough with AI. when did I do that? Solid JB says, if you get more line detail after having color blocked in, do they have to adhere to the shadow and the colors you've already blocked in? Yeah, it's the philosophy of that is you're just trying to get it to read, and yeah, I guess it has to adhere in a way. It has to relate. As anything in a drawing and a composition, everything has to relate to everything. So that's the beauty of a sketchbook, is you can explore that principle quite deeply. Poppy Reynolds says, where do you get your reference? You go out and take my own pictures. Internet, Google's a good one, though it's very limited in that everyone is going to find the same couple of Google things, and your stuff isn't a risk of looking the same as everyone else's. From life, from memory. That's sort of where I get my reference from. For this, it was, Battle Beast and a Battle Beast. Poppy Reynolds says, I wish I was that good. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, he says, you are so talented. Thank you so much. Well, really, I'm not actually that talented. Again, it's a consistent work ethic and consistent study. I take classes, and if you want to learn what I know, a lot of it's in my robot and line weight classes. And then, of course, there's other people that are really great, like Scott Robertson is wonderful to learn from. Nathan Fowkes I actually like quite a bit too. And for figure drawing and a lot of other subjects, Proco is really turning into one of the more premier art education platforms, if not the. I mean, they've really exploded. It used to be, I think, hopefully I'm representing it correctly. And guys, if you hear this, make sure I'm representing you correctly. But it seemed to start as a sort of a figure drawing place, and it's expanded tremendously. And yeah, they're doing great work. There's some great places to learn nowadays. Whereas when I was a youngster, not so much. Buddha Bell says, "Oh, AI caught my first live. Right on." Poppy Reynolds says, "Where do you get your reference?" All over books. I have an actual visual library. You can kind of see part of my library right here. I actually have quite a few books in my house and multiple libraries. I have one in my attic, one in my living room, and of course, the glut of my stuff is in the what do you call it, the studio itself. So that's where I keep my stuff. Just Inky says, "Do you ever watch Steven Zapata?" No. Should I? Sounds like it's worth checking out. Kaylee Booknerd says, "Oh, that's a great name. What is advice you would give a beginner like me that you think is important to know mentally? What to learn, whatever. I've been gathering advice from other artists I follow. I love your art." Well, thank you so much. I guess for a beginning artist, and this is stuff that will carry you through your entire art career, I would say the top couple of advice I'd give a new artist, and this actually sounds like a great video to make, but I will go through the list. One, have a consistent work ethic. Work every day. Set a sustainable amount that you can work every day, and make that your minimum amount. You will focus on your craft every day. The other is learn to take criticism. Very hard, especially when you're younger. You get better at it when you get older. But, when someone gives you criticism or critique of your work, don't be defensive. Even if they're saying something like, "The sky is blue," don't go, "Yeah, I know the sky is blue." Just go, "Uh-huh, yep, okay, tell me more." Just keep them telling you stuff. Don't say, "Okay, yeah, I know that." Well, it's what you know isn't valuable. What they know is. So keep them sharing what they know, even if you already know it, because eventually you're going to get to something that you don't know. And also, don't be defensive of your work. Take the critique, digest it, think about it. If you disagree with it, express it later, probably a couple days later, but express it in a question as opposed to a defensiveness. Because really, you want to be an easy student. You want to be someone that artists want to invest in and enjoy critiquing. And if you're defensive, it's not great. Something else, go to stuff like, practice your hand skills. I highly recommend the ream of paper exercise. I'm gonna get that posted hopefully this week. Gotta watch me forget this, but stay tuned for that. And it's just training your hand to draw. Study art, study composition, study color. Learn those basics. It's out there. There's tons of great videos and resources. Absorb them. And but yeah, I would say those are my. And of course, carry a sketchbook everywhere and draw as much as you can. It's really about mileage. But when you have a sketchbook, you can turn it into smileage. Yeah. But so give it a shot. And I think you inspired me to make an even better and better thought out version of what I would recommend for younger artists. And right now, actually, it's a great time to. I really think for figure drawing, I'd go to Proco. For learning to draw mechanical ID rendered forms, I would go to Scott Robertson's How to Render and How to Draw books. For color and plein air painting, I would go to Nathan Fowkes. Those are my top three. And in finding these people, you're going to find better artists. And if you're really serious about your journey as an artist, go to conventions like Lightbox. Meet other artists, see what they're doing, see what they're learning. Summer Full Creator says, "More great works. Love your style." Thank you very much. Yeah, this is very toyetic. This is Battle Beast is a Battle Beast. Um, okay, let's see. Inky says, do you have any advice for reaching out to artists for advice or mentorship on Insta or in person? Yeah, I mean, you can always ask people questions. Again, ask questions and, get follow up. And with some artists, that's going to lead to something depending on their schedule. It's really, mentorships are very relational. Some people sell mentorships, and that's a great route as well. Jim says, I love your artworks. Thank you. Kaylee Buckner says, thank you. I will keep it in mind and study hard. Right on. But let's see. And art advice, a lot of artists, we like to share. We spend a lot of our time, hunched over boards with no one around, living a very lonely, solitary life. And an opportunity to interact and share with somebody is quite a treat. So if you ask an artist a good question, more often than not, they'll be very nice in terms of answering it. Some are dicks, or some you get on bad days. I have had issues. But typically, artists are very giving to an insane amount. And so, yeah, just ask good questions. Elliot Blake says, it reminds me of Small Soldiers. Holy smokes, that takes me back, Small Soldiers. Yeah. That was an interesting toy line in that the people like the antagonist in the movie as a toy more than the protagonist. Because it's sort of weird. It's like, yeah, the hero of the movie is kind of a pacifist. No one wants a pacifist action figure, but they love those soldier action figures, man. Those things sold out. Very interesting history, toy history there. Jim says, from Sweden. Oh, right on. How are things in Sweden? I've never been, but I've heard really great things. So let's see. All right. So we're cranking along here. It's 5:47. I think we're almost done with Battle Beast here. Should I put black behind his head? I don't know. I feel like the shadow that he is on is rather anemic. So I'm going to see what my options are. Let's throw on a 6. Boost that contrast, and because of that, we may need to boost the contrast around his head, so our eye leads there. We'll see. This is just a fun little jaunt. Jim says, it's summertime. Right on, man. Summer is a good time. I do like it. Summertime in Sweden. I wonder what that's like. Buddha Bell says, not AI. I'm sorry. I was saying I was happy to catch my first live. Oh, right on. Well, this is you aren't too far from my first live too. So we're kind of both being initiated here. Yeah, autocorrect is hell. I always know it. I kind of like read, what you said to the best of my ability when autocorrect happens, and then I give you an opportunity, of course, to correct it. Because God, we've all fallen victim to autocorrect. I've had people. I once had my kids, they were jumping on my head while I was trying to send out a text to a friend, and autocorrect was hitting it, and I sounded like a complete frickin' schizo. And my friend actually asked me, Arlen, are you okay? Because you sounded insane in that text. And I'm like, yeah, it was autocorrect and my kids bouncing on my head. At least that's the official story. JMS says, I'm drawing a bit myself in my whole life. Oh, right on, man. Cool. So we got Battle Beast as a Battle Beast, folks. Someone had to do it. Now, should I give him a black background? Man, I'm tempted. That'll make stuff pop, but I don't know. Should I keep it the way it is? I think I might be low risk and just keep it the way it is, but I think Battle Beast is a Battle Beast. Wait, what color are his eyes? Can anyone tell you? 24 says, hello from Argentina. Amazing work. I've been to Argentina, my friend. I really liked it. I liked Argentina a lot, and I went to Argentina on my way to, what do you call it? Antarctica, which was a really great trip. Really enjoyed it. Mira says, hi from Spain. Beautiful colors. Thank you. Jim says, you can watch my art in my profile if you'd like. Oh, right on. Elliot Blake says, yellow eyes. I think I got orange right here, but let's do a little orangey. Orangey. Oh, there is Battle Beast. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to put in some rim lighting here, guys. Let's throw in the old Toya Go-Go rim lighting. Can't go wrong with rim light. Though I do think I overuse it. I don't know. No one's accused me of it yet, but I'm throwing it out there. Toya Go-Go may use rim lighting too much. I don't know. Who knows? Let's throw a little bit of bounce color up in the bottom here. Let's make this a little bit orange and warm right here. Kind of improve the local color. Maybe throw a little orange down here. Yeah, give a little temperature to this. Now, that's the beauty of gouache is, yeah, I can go over it with a color pencil and, just touch it up a little. Very flexible medium. Jim says, a cool figure, by the way. Yes, it is a Battle Beast from Battle Beasts and Battle Beasts. There was an ice cream truck. I got some. Where are you that you're getting ice cream? Now I'm all jealous. But I did have ice cream earlier today. Me and my daughter went out and had ice cream. I cannot by any means have ice cream twice a day, for I am becoming chubby.
You talk about a lot.
Being chubby or ice cream?
Both.
They might be related. my love of ice cream might be related to my chubbiness. Actually, it's carbs, like bread, that kills me. I mean character. Oh, right on, JMS, right on. Yeah, we're not too sticklery about words here in the old Toya Go-Go. I'm going for educational and lunacy in this stuff. So, we're doing it to it. All right, I kind of like this. I'm going to get some blue. Do I have a blue color pencil here? Gosh, I hope I do. Do I? Because I was on the road this weekend, so my art stuff is all over the damn place. Do I have a blue colored pencil? My gosh, I'm poking around. Now, I lose stuff a lot, and I'm not entirely sure that if you lose stuff with enough significance, you become a loser. I am starting to be concerned that my propensity to misplace things is making me a loser. I don't know, guys. It's hard to say. Throw a little bit of little blue in there. I like adding a bit of blue, a little bit of warm, a little bit of cool temperature to my colors. It just gives it a more sophisticated look. Looks a little bit more rendered, a little bit realer, like it's interacting with the environment. Whoops. So I think this might be Battle Beast, guys. What do you think? Battle Beast is a Battle Beast. We could probably put a highlight on a sword. Let's do that. The professional dot line. I talk about the different types of line you can use in my line weight drawing class. Now on Proco. Look at that. Another a-hole selling something on the internet. Got a good yawn there? Oh, Inky Pen says, I stepped on a rock in the process of getting ice cream. Well worth it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, my friend. That blue is about the sky reflection, says Nuno says. Yeah, it's about the sky reflection, but also the ambient light as well. So it could be sky reflection, it could be ambient light. It's sort of like a rendering shorthand that I do quite often in my work. So, a lot of my sketchbooks, a lot of abbreviation. So, it's good times. Good times. But let's see. All right, I think Battle Beast is done. I think we got him done, guys. So Battle Beast is done. And we got about 5 minutes left. You want to draw comic books for a little bit, guys? Let's do it. Throw some inks on a page I'm working on. So we're going to close Mr. Battle Beast. Oh! Freeran, so good. So good.
Can I have my books
Eventually. Eventually. Okay, so where the hell is my book? Oh, here it is. All right. I get up every morning and I work on this because it is a sustainable amount that I can work every day. Mirno's art says, so inspiring and beauty. And Jim says, yeah. Right on. I really appreciate that, guys. There it is. No, I'm kidding. Here's some rough sketch pages. My layouts are like super fast. They literally take a minute to do. And then I do it in my sketch, on the actual board, and it becomes stiffer. So I'm trying to find a way to stay, more, less stiff when I do comic pages. But I find it challenging, but I think it's fairly common. Oh, so inspiring. Oh, Jim says, going to sleep. Good night. Right on, man. Well, sleep well, my friend. We will be back here next week. Same back time. Same bat channel. And, we'll keep cranking away. Kaylee says, how did you practice back when you started to get serious with your art? Like, your line work, what practices did you do that really made you improve? I would say the ream of paper exercise did it. Honestly, just a lot of frickin' mileage. I did a lot of drawing. But, if you're going to do a lot of drawing, take some good classes. That's going to get you a lot more out of your mileage that you put in. So, yeah. There's a lot of good resources for learning, and I'd recommend investing in them. Some of my favorite art places are, again, I mentioned Scott Robertson, of course, Proco, especially for figure drawing. Ooh, that's a horrible line. I am not warmed up for inking. Schoolism is wonderful. And, there's a lot of good YouTube videos out there as well. A lot of good books. So those are a couple of my favorites that I like using. And then I need to learn to use one of those pens, one of those inking pens with a nib pen. Because I think it's more suitable for my desired line type. Because the brush just is not doing it for me. Plus it's very hard to control the saturation of them. But, figure it out. Inky says, the outside is exactly warm outside in Canada, but it's not worth it for ice cream. It's always worth it for ice cream, my friend. Come on, you're Canadian. You can take the cold. Actually, today I was about 2 miles from Canada. Yeah, I grew up in Cape Vincent, and I have a place there. And, it's very close to Canada, so I love Canada to death. If you're a Kingston native, hello, because I spent a lot of time in Kingston. Shout out to Sanctuary Comics and the Wolf Island Bakery. And with my significant amount of influencer reach, I'm going to give them a bump in sales. Actually, not really. It's going to result in nothing for them. Sorry, I wish I could give shout outs and actually give people business, but I'm so diluted through the world. I am not a benefit to bricks and mortar businesses for shout outs. So, but I do love, if you guys have ever been to Wolf Island, I highly recommend it. It's very beautiful. Wonderful place to bike. The town is gorgeous, very idyllic, especially in the summer. So, oh gosh, guys, we're almost ready to wrap up. So, yeah, this is my comic book. This is my comic. Thanks for looking. It's very humble. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? This guy's a nobody. Damn right. Sometimes it's just fun to do something, even though nobody may look at it. I enjoy it. I actually pitched the idea to my daughter yesterday, and she liked it, which I was terrified to pitch this to my daughter because she's a hard ass. But she liked it, so that encourages me. I'm like, okay, I'm not wasting my time entirely. But yeah, guys, we're about ready to wrap this up. So thank you. Oh, Inky says, oh, you were near the Ontario border. Yep, I love that area. Love it to death. So good. Yeah, now that the ferry's gone, I have to like drive through Gananoque and like all those places to get to Kingston. So I get the experience. PDF says, you said previously you had a background in industrial design, if I recall correctly. You do. Where would you advise to start from learning industrial design as a newcomer? Well, I learned in college, and I haven't worked much as an industrial designer. I still do it, but I'm not in it as much as I used to. And unfortunately, because of that, I can't really give you the best advice. But I would recommend talking to an industrial design school. And yeah, it's a weird business right now because it's not as successful as it was and lucrative as it was in the 90s. So yeah, but it's worth learning. The industrial design thought process is very valuable in all areas of your life. So I highly recommend learning that. Isaiah and Olivia say, dope drawing, amazing. Thank you. So, guys, let's wrap it up. I will do one more plug, of course, for my line weight drawing class and robot drawing class on Proco. Check it out. Link in bio. And Buddha Bell says, have a great night. I plan on taking your line weight class. Thank you so much. And of course, if you take any of my classes, make sure you utilize the feedback area. Your issues will be covered, either directly or through someone else's critique. So make sure you get in there to speed up your process of growth. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much. Wrapping up Instagram, turning it off. Goodbye, guys. And we are going to wrap up YouTube. Hopefully this does make it to my YouTube live. But thank you, guys. We'll be here every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Swing by. And thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.